Megan Fox has the story.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox, a national journalist.
Mastodon. I will never be able to say that.
It feels like the Flintstones live there.
It does.
Well, don't trust women. I think you just touched on that with your last. That's what they brought. We're going to have to bring back chaperones.
Jesus, no.
Just careful. Stop! Right. Ooh. Hard right.
How did you screw up a stove, Megan? You're a woman. I thought that was baked into you. Like at the genetic level, how to operate kitchen equipment.
And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you.
You got Dino hanging out outside chewing on a large bone.
I highly recommend being targeted by the New York Times and Rolling Stone for weight loss. And I'd say, keep it coming. I need to lose 20 more. Please, keep it coming.
Explain to me, Megan, why did this country not have a holiday once a year? That's the time you vote. If you don't show up and vote, up your ass. You don't get another chance. You don't get, I don't care if you're in the hospital. Crawl to the stake, crawl there. But that's it. 1 day, 12 hours, and then you're done. And you count them that day, and that night you know who the hell won.
I will eat you alive. You want to tangle? You want to go?
The only thing going through my head is, what are you going to do when Megan Fox runs wild on you, brother?
He made a deal with the devil. She's the devil.
He wants that.
Oh, God. Whoa! Oh! All right. Penalty box for slug. Yep.
Of a mile.
Are you ready to behave yourself now, slug?
This frustrating rep.
Are you ready to behave yourself? Repossessed puppies. I'm hiding pork chop. ASAP. Have you seen his little pork chop? Oh my God, pork chop is the cutest.
That sounds bad.
Have you seen it?
Pork. It's pork.
Though you may be tempted, do not contact any person or persons mentioned on this stream. Do not even think about contacting anyone who may be the topic of the daily news. If you should do that, the host will question your IQ, possibly call you names, and mock you for disobeying these basic rules of decency.
All the best.
Hola, amigos. We're back. We're here.
What's up, amigos?
What's up, amigos?
How's everybody
Buenos
doing?
dias. Buenos dias. We're
Bienvenidos.
here today. Yeah, that's right. With El Fluxo. She has joined
That's
us.
right.
She's in the house. I don't know if you know this, but it's an amazing day on the internet. And if you are not, if I had a sombrero, I would be wearing it right now. Just saying. If you don't know what's going on Twitter right now, it is absolute
wonderful.
hilarity. It is so much. There's so much hilarity going on right now. It all began with the White House. And I'm going to explain it to you because it took me like 20 minutes to figure it out this morning. And that was 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back. I was like, why is everyone wearing sombreros?
Oh, yeah. I've been following this since yesterday or whenever it started. I was like, I love Trump so much because of this.
All right, and folks, don't get your knickers in a twist if you don't like Trump. We are just talking about the jokes today, okay?
We're talking about the lols and the memes.
This is for the lulz and the memes. So this is what he posted a day ago. Every day Democrats keep the government shut down, the sombrero gets 10 times bigger. Now wait, this video is so funny.
Not even black way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too. Way to sugarcoat it.
I mean, come on, it's a good joke. It is. It's a good joke. And if the Democrats were able to come up with jokes like this, I would laugh also because this is funny. Well, what makes it even funnier is that the breakdown on the left the Democrats went absolutely nuts. Hakeem Jeffries is out there calling this meme racist.
And I'm over here like, it's not appropriation, it's appreciation.
I mean, it was a hilarious way to call attention to the fact that Democrats literally are demanding health care for illegals. Come on, folks. When your grandma doesn't have health care, can we please stop with this? Can we stop? But anyway, after they got super offended, look at the memes. How about taller? After they got super offended, I mean, it just went on and on. The memeing today, look at this one. I can't. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I don't know if you're enjoying it, but I'm enjoying it.
This is the kind of stuff the internet is made for, to make fun of people.
Definitely what the internet
is. Jokes and good humor.
In good humor. Right. This is not mean-spirited. It's just funny. And then like Hakeem Jeffries held a press conference. I wish I could find that one now. I sent it to you. I didn't retweet it and I should have. The one where he held a press conference.
If you go to my Twitter page, I replied to it, so you should be able to see it in my replies. Because that one was like...
But wait, is it the actual press conference or is it the one where they turned it into where they put the hat on him?
Yeah, no, it's the press conference one. So it's the reply.
I want the meme with the hat. They turned it into a meme with they put the hat on him for the press conference.
It should be like one of the first there it is. Oh wait, no, down one more.
Oh yeah, and then we have JD Vance retweeting this. This is hilarious, by the way. It's JD Vance in the hat.
I love it. This one.
This one.
And we're going to continue to make clear, bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault. It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear, bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care.
I'm sorry, that one was good enough to see twice.
I love that so much.
Now, listen, the healthcare debate, it's very important. It is. It's important. And really, I don't have the answers to any of it. But I really like the memes, so I really don't care about any of it. Oh, God.
Oh, and I just happen to have a birthday sombrero, so I'm like, I'm going to wear it today.
Oh, I have a sombrero. It's in my birthday song. Whose birthday is it? Somebody's birthday has to be. It's got to be one of your birthdays. So let's play the birthday song so you can see Tug in a sombrero.
Happy, happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy, happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy, happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy, happy birthday. Here's to another year.
Okay, definitely. I forgot I have a sombrero on in that cartoon too. That's perfect.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love the internet.
But why use a sombrero? Can someone explain? Because the president was trying to say they're trying to protect, they're trying to spend your money
the southern border
on illegals instead of Americans, and we're not going to let that happen. Now that's his argument. Democrats have a different argument, and you guys are free to decide which group you agree with. I personally just appreciate the memes. I'm here for the lulz.
I'm here for the jokes on both sides. Except one side takes jokes really well and the other side doesn't. So it's like, you just gotta roll with it.
Listen, I'm here
just
for the
gotta
jokes
roll
on
with
both sides too. But when you go and hold a press conference and you call that video disgusting and racist, the words lose their meaning at some point. You know, these words are going to lose their meaning. I think we've reached it. Hakeem, come on. Can't you guys punch back at all, like with memes and jokes? Like, I just can't figure it out. The president is joking. Like, calm the hell down.
The problem is they get hurt when we make fun of them. So when they make fun of us, they want us to get hurt. Like they're hurt.
But they don't like that we
don't
laughing.
Because we can find the humor in joking about our own faults. I mean, you're medium smart. I'm a gay retard.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with
we can't laugh at ourselves.
Or a gay retard, okay?
No.
Nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
If you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at anybody. And that's why these people can't laugh at anybody, because they can't laugh at themselves.
We have a Mexican American in the chat. Shannon has played her card and she is not offended, which means none of you are allowed to be offended because the resident Mexican American is not offended. So everyone is allowed to laugh. It is okay now. We have permission. Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate that.
I mean, maybe people wouldn't be as offended if he did one from every culture. Let's do one from every culture.
Okay. Is there he could do a belly dancing one next, right?
Yeah, and then we could get like I'm trying to think of like other cultures.
Who else is coming in over the border we don't want? Who else?
I was gonna say we could get all the maple syrup and stuff and like hold it with us for the Canadians.
Ostrich killers, like killing
for
the
Australian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, that's
no, Canada. That's Canada.
No, the Australia is the emu one.
The emus, yes. All right. We're off topic. Today is
as
the
long
Timms
as you
trial.
make fun of everybody, you're okay.
You should have heard me. You should have seen me in Flux, our text of her frantically looking for her sombrero this morning.
I couldn't find it. I was so mad. I thought Mrs. Flux got rid of it, and then I thought I left it at my sister-in-law's house, and I was
there
just
was an all-out panic looking for that sombrero. She's like, I have 2 of these. I have 2.
I do. I found all of my hats.
I bought this gay ass sombrero years ago, and I finally have a reason to wear it. Andale! That's right.
Essentially.
All right. Back to the topic at
hand. Lord.
We are covering a trial today, and we are going to have a shorter day today. I have to be out of here by 11:15. But the defense is starting their case today in the Timms trial. We apologize for the first 13 minutes of ridiculous bullshit.
Hey, man, this world is just ridiculous bullshit right now.
That's true. And when there's a good meme day, you can't pass it up. You cannot pass up a good meme. When the internet is memeing, you have to pay attention because the sombrero panic.
It's culture, man.
It's culture. This is the only culture America has anymore. Memeing. So you might as well get in on it, okay? We are going today to watch the testimony of Dr. He's the orthopedic surgeon. Let me see. I think this is the guy who doesn't want his name out there because of harassment. So we're just going to call him, I think, Dr. X. Gosh, where is
can
he?
we come up with like a good like Dr. Good Hair or
it's Dr. Bowtie. It's Dr. Bowtie.
Oh,
he's wearing a bow tie.
Is it an authentic bow tie, you think, or is it like a clip-on?
Or is it a clip-on? I don't know. All right, get your bingo cards ready, folks. Get your bingo cards. Do you have your bingo cards? Today might be more difficult because until today, the bingo card has been not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's been geared towards the state's case. Right now we're on the defense case, so there might not be a whole lot of squares that apply, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We will write down new squares as we go. Flux is going to get angry. Megan snorts. Blink rate anomaly. Facts. Megan, I've put a few in that I thought might help. Megan hits wrong button. Bendy babies. River dancing. Gets squunched. For fuck's sake, conflicting testimony. Flux pets cat. Judge Werther's break. Free space, which we can check off now. What a bitch. They're making shit up. Osteogenesis imperfecta. Dumpster moment. The C word. Annoying hand gestures. Flux chooses violence. Perjury. Lazy investigator. What, if anything, sidebar, state lies. And then there's a whole other slew of other ones that I completely screwed up and I looked at the wrong card to read them off. So now I can't read you the rest of them. All right.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Well, I can, but let me look. It's going to be ones I've already said. Oh, let's see. Dumpster moment. Did I say that? Hair talk. What do you do here? Evasive answers. Didn't do nothing. Blood pressure meds stop working, conflicting testimony, drunk or high witness. I mean, who knows? Maybe Dr. Bowtie is drunk or high. Wait, that could happen. Megan snorts. The simulation does not disappoint. And you can go ahead and check that off right now if you have that one, because this morning Flux was like, why do I have this ridiculous hat? And I'm like, because the simulation does not disappoint.
Not only the hat, the mustache, and my
and the poncho.
Yeah. I just had it. All the stuff right there. I know what I'm dressing up for is Halloween.
Yeah, so go ahead and check off the simulation does not disappoint. River dancing, sidebar, Flux hates prosecutor, appropriate, loving parents, judges Werther's break, fake words, defensive body language. I think I said the C word already. Sex scandal face, Spider-Man meme. Thug judge, Megan hates prosecutor, overruled, sustained, lazy investigator. We did that one. Muted boomer, bird talk, invade Canada. They're making shit up. Megan hits the wrong button. Witch sighting, perjury, unknown significance. I already did that one. Bendy babies, AI portion of the show, weird mouth noises, Flux pets cat. Carrie's dad, smoker's cough. We got Flux chooses violence. For fuck's sake, unfucking real. What, if anything? Awkward pause. Annoying hand gestures. Baby stealer. Ceiling cats. Prosecution gets wrecked. And wiggle, wiggle, itch, cough. All right.
I love that. Wiggle, wiggle, itch, cough.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Wiggle, wiggle, itch. We're going to miss Jen today. She's not here today.
Oh.
All right. And you know what? I'm going to give you hair talk already because... folks, I'm having an amazing 2 hair days. I've had amazing. And let me tell you why. I picked this up at Target or something. I don't know. Every time I use this gel by Odell, it's called Air Dry Styler. And no, they are not paying me to say this. I wish they would. If Odell is listening, I am going to buy a vat of this to put in my bag. I'm never going to stop using this. Air Dry Styler. This is the most amazing gel, and it does this to my hair. The only thing, only other products I have on here is a leave-in, Miss Jessie's leave-in conditioner, and that's it. And this, and oh my gosh, this is the first time that I have less than 5 products in my hair, and it's so soft, and it feels so good, and it's so curly. Look at the ringlets. Check it out.
It looks beautiful.
I know. Air Dry Styler by Odell. Go get some. It's at Target and Walmart. Wow. And oh my God, it's amazing. So I'll give you hair talk. Do I have that on my bingo card? Crap. I don't. God, that didn't even benefit me. All right.
Wow.
Oh, don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to visit Super Tips because Super Tips are hilarious. And I missed some the other day. I missed 2. But I don't think they were Tim's trial ones. I think they were Tug Stream ones. So let me check. Because if they're Tug Stream ones, I'll save it for the stream tonight. Yes, they were Tug Stream ones. Okay. But send Super Tips. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Pinned to the top of the chat. And you can go there, support the show. And as always, I will turn off the ads when medium wage is reached. That's how that works. In fact, I guess I need to turn on the ads. I don't have them on. We'll do scheduled. We'll do 30 minutes, every 30 minutes, because that's the furthest amount of time I can do. And there we go. All right. Here we go, folks. Dr. Bowtie. I mean, maybe if we come up with a better name for him later, I don't know. But for right now, he's Dr. Bowtie.
I have a son who moved to Tennessee a couple years ago, just across the border.
He's an orthopedic surgeon.
And are you currently employed at a hospital in California?
I am.
And what hospital is that? Okay. And what do you do?
I'm the orthopedic trauma surgeon.
And how long have you been there?
I've been there.
By the way, it's really sad that he wanted his identity protected, but apparently he has faced backlash for testifying on behalf of these families. Just like Dr. Corcoran, by the way. Just like Dr. Corcoran, who has experienced blacklisting and professional backlash, this man is also getting he's being targeted by whatever cabal is out there pushing these child abuse doctors. Oh, you guys were asking me if Carrie was going to be here today. She is in the chat. Good morning, Carrie Timms. And when she works, so if she has a break, she has the link, she can come in. We may have a special guest from Sweden, maybe. I sent a link all the way to Sweden, so maybe he'll pop in here at some point. I don't know if he can or not. But, Nick Starro will be doing a fundraiser tomorrow night for the Timms. So he may pop in to really talk about that and watch this with us. But make sure that you also visit Carrie Timms' fundraiser, which is in the description of this video. And make sure, if you have a couple bucks to give to Carrie and Brady, they've lost a whole lot after the state took their kid wrongfully. So go check that out. And when Nick's in the chat. Oh, great. Well, Nick, there's a link in your Twitter DMs, by the way. If you want to join us, you're welcome. Once we hit the goal for the Carrie and Brady Timms fundraiser, there will be river dancing in ugly prom dresses. You won't want to miss it.
Since 2015.
Let me go through your education and training history for just a moment, okay? Where did you go to college, undergrad?
Oops. What did I do? Hold on.
Megan hits
the wrong button.
That was fast.
Damn.
Yeah.
And did you earn a degree from that college?
Yes.
And what was your degree in?
It was a Bachelor of Arts.
Okay. And from there, where did you go in terms of education?
I went to Loma Linda University School of Medicine.
Okay. And when did you graduate from that school?
I graduated in 1973 from the School of Medicine.
Okay. And did you continue your education after Loma Linda?
I did.
Where did you go next?
Well, then I took a year's internship at Florida Hospital in Orlando, Florida. And then I took a 4-year residency in Southern California in Los Angeles in orthopedic surgery. And I took a spine fellowship in orthopedic surgery at USC, University of Southern California, at Los Amigos, which is the big rehab hospital.
Did he say Los Amigos? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did he?
I think he
He
did.
might have said Los Alamitos.
Oh, I thought he said
in
Los
the state of
Amigos. That would have been
California.
funny. I should have
No,
just
because that's my
You
neck of the
mentioned a moment
woods.
ago, and I think there's some terms that get thrown around, and sometimes we're, as lawyers, probably a little bit neglectful in assuming that folks know what some of this stuff means. You said that you
I do
completed a
too.
residency at a hospital. What does that mean?
The one that I
Well,
always hit that's
after
wrong.
graduating
Whenever
from
I hit the
medical
wrong one, it's
school,
this one.
You have to spend a year on-the-job training. That's called the internship. And then you can take the test to get a license. And then you're a practicing physician. You get a degree as a medical doctor after graduating from medical school, but you don't have a license. And so after having a year of hands-on training called an internship, then you can get a license. But to have a specialty as a surgeon or as an orthopedic surgeon, then it requires further on-the-job training. That's what a residency is.
And orthopedic. What is an orthopedist? What does an orthopedist do?
Ortho means
Oh,
bone.
look who the cat dragged
and
in.
Pedic.
What's up, Nick? No.
Woohoo! No sombrero for you today, sir.
No, I mean, the closest is the Utah cap.
That'll do. I like your pony. I like your ponytail.
Thank you.
Welcome, Nicholas
That
Starr,
product
to
of
the
yours,
chat.
I've seen that here in Sweden as well. I'm going to try it.
Oh my God, it's so good. I don't know if you use hair gel, but they have other products too. They have a hair mask that's a deep conditioner that works pretty good. It's not my favorite one, but they have other products too. Do you ever use hair gel?
Very, very rarely, and only when I need everything on
slick
top.
it back.
Slick it back.
Well, I'll tell you what, the consistency of this stuff and the way it makes my hair feel like smooth like silk. I mean, I can't even. I am in love with this gel. And I've been trying to figure out when I have good hair days, what is it? What is it that I'm doing differently? Because I have 8,000 different products. I don't use the same products every day. I just use what I feel like using. And it's always when I use this.
I have 3.
You have 3?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's ordinary shampoo, high-end, what do you call it? Conditioner and purple.
Oh, purple. I have the purple shampoo too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purple. And do I need it?
No, because you're a brunette.
Talk about it.
You're a brunette. Blondes and grays need purple shampoo. So I use purple shampoo for my highlights too. Yeah.
My grays are starting to come in pretty good up top. I'm like, all
of that gray. All of that gray.
I'm excited. I want more salt. I want all of the salt. I want all of the salt.
That gesture does not mean salt over here.
What does it mean?
I don't. Balls.
It means balls. Interesting.
This means what in sign language?
Cojones.
So,
you know what?
And when you do the
I guess it's orientation that matters.
Yeah. Balls, boobs. Balls, boobs. Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. That was today's language lesson.
An orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, it is a silly day.
That takes care of bone and joint problems.
Flux, look at my name.
Oh, mine. I changed my bet. I'm gonna change my bet.
Yes.
I'm a board certified orthopedic surgeon.
How does one become board certified?
Pardon me?
How do you become board certified?
Well, you have to meet certain minimum requirements, which, they schedule a residency so that you have so much exposure to children's fractures and so much exposure to tumors and so much exposure to adult reconstructive problems and spine problems. And so it's a regimented, prescribed course so that you have certain minimum requirements, and then you sit for a oral examination and they ask questions, and then there's a written test as well. So it's a process.
Have you completed after your education? Your
all right,
formal
we're
education,
speeding up
any
the education
fellowships?
background. No one cares about this.
Where were those?
Yeah,
That was
we
in
know
Rancho Los Amigos.
they've been through this pre-trial.
It is Rancho Los Amigos. It is Rancho Los Amigos. It's literally Rancho Los Amigos. The simulation does not disappoint.
Wow.
The simulation does not disappoint.
I mean, because they're into Los Alamitos.
I need that on my soundboard. Oh my God, I'm gonna go look for it on Stream Deck right now.
2000.
This is a very serious case, and we're taking this very, very seriously with humor.
And pelvic and acetabular reconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Was
seriously.
that in California as well?
That was in California and Seattle. It wasn't a formal fellowship. It was an informal fellowship because I was retired actually. And I became interested in trauma, and I started doing trauma in other countries. And I was invited to spend time with 2 of the most prominent pelvic and acetabular surgeons in the world. And so I would fly down to Los Angeles or fly up to Seattle and scrub with them. So it gave me an opportunity to be exposed to something that's a very specific type of surgery.
I found
Have
it.
you worked abroad?
I have.
The United States? Where have you worked?
Well,
Did you really?
when I was medically retired in 2000 from an injury, an orthopedic
It's
injury,
going
and
on
it
the
wasn't thought
soundboard
that I
right
would
now.
return. And so I retired, but I had an
Yep.
unexpected recovery.
No, it's
And I began working in Afghanistan, in China, and Brazil. I've been to the Dominican Republic. I've been to Haiti. And it was on those travels that I became aware of metabolic bone conditions, from malnutrition, from starvation, from different genetic factors, from deficits. And that caused me to become interested. And I began the process of studying for things that I had never paid much attention to before. And if I had seen it, I wouldn't have recognized it.
Have you founded any nonprofit agencies?
I did. My wife and I started a nonprofit foundation called the Foundation for the Study of Metabolic Bone Disease.
Okay, and when was that founded?
You know, I think that was probably 2013 or 14, and it funded research mainly at Johns Hopkins.
Have you consulted in your years of experience
God, it's
on
long.
cases involving infants?
Just keep going.
Of infants in the past?
I have.
And in what capacity have you consulted?
How long is
As
this?
an orthopedic surgeon
That's
and
what she
as an
said.
expert in metabolic bone disease.
28 whole seconds.
Have you been tendered and admitted in court as an expert in those fields?
We're sorry,
I have.
doctor.
Approximately
But
how
we're
many
skipping
times do you
through.
know?
We don't
I think
care
this
about
is
the
probably the
educational
9th or 10th
stuff.
time.
And you have testified in trials before as an expert, is that correct?
I have.
Judge, at this time I would tender Dr. And ask the court that he be allowed
We
to give
all
his opinion
accept
in
that
the
he's
field
an
of,
expert.
orthopedics,
Anyone who wears a bow tie
in
in a
metabolic bone
courtroom is
disease.
definitely
Ms.
an
Bernard,
expert
any
in my
objection?
book.
Ms. Fox, any objection? You certainly can.
Oh no, this bitch.
Oh, I
Oh,
bet
what
you
does she
sure what
want?
here.
Miss
What a
Bad Hair.
bitch.
An extensive history.
He's
of
an
your experience
expert.
in orthopedics. I want to ask you specifically. You are not a radiologist.
I am not, but I read x-rays pretty much
Check
every
off
day
what a
that I
bitch,
do
please.
orthopedic surgery.
You did not go through the additional training that a professional
She's gonna say he's
radiologist
not
would go through
qualified to
get
read a fucking
certified to read
X-ray.
those X-rays. So
I
did
can't. No. Oh, but the cop was. The cop and the DCF worker was. What a
And
bitch! You may now
Dr.
check off. What a bitch! Megan hates prosecutor. What else can we check off? What a bitch!
Well, Mr. Gay Sassy Pants.
Right.
He wasn't a radiologist.
He wasn't a radiologist.
Or a
pathologist.
Pathologist. There we go. But he was able to comment on all that shit.
Yeah. But
Oh.
you know what? You know what's good when the prosecutor is being a bitch like this? The jury remembers.
Yeah.
That's
They're gonna
fair.
think the same. They're gonna think
Yeah.
the same thing. They're thinking the same thing. Flux, do you want Flux hates the prosecutor checked off now?
Yeah, we're definitely we hate the prosecutor with this because it's like, bro.
Yeah.
You
This is-
really
this is
want to
not
play this
necessary.
game?
This is
You
not
wanna play
necessary.
this game.
By the way, the defense, they didn't do this. They let them have all their experts, if you remember correctly. The only objection they had
Was the
was
qualifier.
we don't like the way they call this guy a child abuse pediatrician. He is a pediatrician with a special interest in child abuse. That
They
was fair.
Only wanted the qualifier changed, which had nothing to do with their credentials, it just was their title that they wanted to be called by.
That's
No.
right.
This is
All right, we're getting back to it.
Do not, but I do go. I have, as part of my training, gone to courses that were specific for radiologists, but part and parcel of my everyday work is reading and interpreting x-rays, and that's a part of orthopedic surgery.
When you do surgery as an orthopedics, you would work alongside a real radiologist, though, wouldn't you? They would read the X-rays in any
a
legitimate
real
hospital.
radiologist.
We work in the same hospital, but we don't work alongside each other.
Listen.
You are not
Listen.
certified as a pediatric radiologist either.
Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. It is too early in the stream for me to drop the C word, but I'm telling you right now, chat, This woman is a see you next Tuesday, and you may check it off the bingo card.
I am not.
You've never done a fellowship or internship in either radiology or pediatric radiology.
I have not.
And you do not have a degree in genetics?
I do not have a degree in genetics.
Have not gone through any fellowships or internships in genetics?
I have not, but I was the top of my class in genetics in college. Actually, I was tied for top of my class.
I was top of my class in wills, but I wouldn't write a will 35 years later.
Oh,
Okay, that said,
Oh, you
Cunt. She's a cunt.
Violence. I'm choosing
Flux chooses violence. Flux is going over the bar. She is flying over the bar, and she's yanking that hair down at this moment.
Showing you why you wear your hair up in battle.
Yeah. Showing you why it was a bad idea not to tie up that hair, bitch. Flux is coming for you.
Yeah. And Miss Prosecutor with the bad hair extensions. He's qualified. You're a cunt.
Yes. It's only 36 minutes in, Nick. You're going to get me demonetized. He said punt.
It's the accent. I mean, yeah. It's
Let's
the
say
accent.
chat. Say chat.
Chat?
Say chat.
Chat?
Normally you say shat.
Shat. Oh yeah.
Normally you say shat.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, folks,
my asshole viewers didn't tell me for over a year that I pronounced the sound wrong. Everybody was having so much fun.
I thought you did that on purpose after a while.
No, I didn't know. Our sounds are so different from the American sound. So now I actually have to add a T in the beginning. As I say, chat.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I love it. I liked when you said
I don't
chat.
want you to change your accent, Nick. We love you just the way you are. I mean, honestly, we really do. But chat, since you have since we are definitely being demonetized today with the C word dropped within 36 minutes of streaming, please remember to support the show. Go to Super Tips, send a super chat. Not your ramen money. Please don't send me your ramen money. I don't want your ramen money. If you only have ramen money left this week, that's for you. Go buy your ramen and eat well. But if you have Starbucks money and you maybe don't want to throw it away on gross coffee, you can throw it away here because it will go to good use. Archie Ruckus, by the way, those of you wondering about him and his terrible ear infection, I finally got the appointment they called today. So he will be going in on Wednesday for the full workup. And they have to put him. I got the estimate on the bill. Oh my God. Does anybody want to, because my big stupid special dog, very special needs, he has to be put under to be treated at the vet. How much do you think the estimate for this, for double ear cleaning, like clean out treatment, 3 vaccines, because he's due for those, blood work, pre-blood work because he has the general anesthesia or whatever, and the visit, the physical, there was something else that was crazy. All right, April's coming in with 500. I Am the Princess says 1,000. Glory says over 1,000. Hey Joe's at 1,200. $879.95. This is like The Price is Right. This is fun. This is fun.
$1.
One. The estimate. Okay, Linda Lou says 549. Linda, listen, I think you win. The estimate what came in between $400 and $700. That's the range they're giving me. It's anywhere between nope, 400 and 700. But that's how much it's going to cost.
This asshole was free.
Their care is not free though. The care is outrageous.
He basically owns the house, so it cost me a lot more. So
yeah, that's true. But you know what? I have to say, I usually only have to do this for him once a year. So that's not that bad for once a year, right? But you know what those bitches said to me when they called to make the appointment? They wanted to make sure you knew that there is no payment plan and full payment is expected on the day of service. And I was like, yeah, I know, bitch. That's why I didn't call you. That's why I couldn't make the appointment 3 months ago. Because I'm trying to save the money to afford this.
The 9 times you testified, has that all been recently or during the course of your career?
That would be since, I think, 2012.
Has it all been because of your hobby and interest in this field?
Yes, it's been
hobby.
It started with an interest in unexplained fractures.
Okay.
And then as I studied that, I became more interested in metabolic bone disease because that's a significant
He studied
part of it.
unexplained fractures? You don't say.
I have only testified in court for the defense, but I've been retained by the Department of Defense, and I've had 2 prosecutors call me and consult with me.
Okay. But you've only testified in court as a defense witness.
That's correct.
Okay. You indicated that you read scans as part of your orthopedic practice. Would that have been in California then, as your employment through the hospital you had mentioned?
Would you say that again?
You said that you have read scans as part of your practice. Would that have been in California as part of the hospitals you were affiliated with there?
I didn't understand the part. You said I had read scans.
Right. As part of your questions to me, or answers to me, you were indicating you've read films, x-rays. Yes. Was that part of your medical practice in California?
Absolutely.
Okay. And in that context, did you testify about any of the scans X-rays you read, or were they having other people testify about those scans?
Well, both. But I also have a license in California as an X-ray supervisor and fluoroscopic operator.
Oh, really?
So the person that works the machine.
Nice.
Pardon me?
The person that works the X-ray machine.
Move, bitch. Get out the way. What did you just say to him? Oh, so the person who works the X-ray machine, ma'am, can you work an X-ray machine?
She can barely work a microphone. I mean, seriously.
I think she can barely spell X-ray.
Yes, in California, many states don't require, but in California, in order to operate an X-ray machine, particularly a fluoroscopic X-ray machine that is a moving machine that has high resolution and puts out a lot of radiation, you're required to have a separate license. I have that license.
Okay. So the bottom line is you are certified and licensed as an orthopedic surgeon, and you've taken tests and passed them in that field. You've never taken any tests and passed them in the field of radiology.
No, but part of the orthopedic examination and board examinations include X-rays. That's an important part of it.
What percentage of that exam is specifically towards X-rays?
I would say probably 30 or 40% of every case.
And now let's call the state's witnesses and ask them the exact same questions.
Them. You notice that the defense didn't do this to any of those witnesses. This is outrageous. This is stupid. I almost feel like fast forwarding through it because he's going to be qualified. So this is just
their very first witness?
Yes.
The very first
defense's witness.
Wow.
Yes. He is beyond qualified. This is ridiculous. I'm
Ms. Fox,
speeding
any
her
objection to this witness?
Oh, finally, she's sitting down.
Mr. Hood, pursuant to your request, this witness will be
Sit
admitted as an expert in the field as requested.
So she still didn't have any objections. So it was just a show.
No, it was a show. It was to try and make him look stupid in front of the jury.
All right, Doctor.
But all it did was make her look like, I'm not going to say the word again because I've used the B word like 300 times already since we started this. I'm trying to calm down. No, my blood pressure meds are not working and I did take them. So you can mark that off the bingo card because I'm feeling extra spicy. And I need to come up with another word besides the B word. Is there another word?
Can we say cahoot?
We can say cahunt. What about I'll have to think about that. Twat? Might be too early for that too.
Some terms that we're going to be discussing during the course of your testimony this morning and see if you can give a brief outline or definition of some of these terms, okay? When you talk about the study of bones, what exactly are our bones made of and how are they formed?
Our bones are a reservoir for calcium and phosphorus. 99% of the calcium and the phosphorus that we have in our bodies is in the bones. And we tend to think of bones as the structure that supports us, and it is. But the reservoir is probably more critical to life because the phosphorus produces the energy that makes possible the 1 billion biochemical reactions that take place every second in every cell. And the calcium is a critical component of brain function, of nerve biochemical, electrochemical transmission, of clotting factors, of the conduction of your heart. So if the calcium is not carefully regulated, you die.
Do our bones contain a substance called collagen?
Yes.
What is collagen?
Calcium is an element, it's a mineral. And actually, it's one of the more difficult things for us to digest. And we have to have that, particularly during periods of growth, because as we grow, we need more raw materials. If you didn't have the raw materials, you couldn't come up with the final product, and you would be either stunted in your growth, or in the case of calcium, you might not survive because the biochemical reactions necessary for life itself wouldn't have enough calcium to function.
Okay. What about collagen?
Cartilage.
Collagen.
Collagen are microfibrils that make up the structure of bone. We don't see them, but if you were able to take away the minerals in bone and you looked at them with very high powered magnification or electromicron magnification, you would see what looked like ropes. And that is collagen. But that substance is also true in blood vessels and skin and ligaments.
Wait. Is he saying, I know nothing about this stuff. So is he saying that those things that look like ropes that are collagen are inside the bones?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought collagen was something outside. I'm learning.
Collagen is also in the binding material between muscles is also collagen.
Okay.
For instance, if you look at a big piece of beef,
yeah,
and you pull it apart, you see this weird little
stringy things.
Yeah. The see-through stringy things. That's mostly collagen.
Mm-hmm.
So
all I know about collagen is
bones.
that they put it in face creams and stuff for wrinkles. That's all I know about collagen. I know nothing else about it. But this is interesting because I had no idea there was collagen inside the bones. I love learning stuff like this. That's
fun. Why a lot of people are pushing like collagen products now because it's supposed to be really good for you. And like it's in a lot of stuff now to kind of try and boost health.
Boost collagen production or whatever.
That's an important part of our soft tissue, but it's a critically important part of bone structure.
I had no clue about this.
What is
Never
vitamin
heard
D?
This.
Vitamin D is not a vitamin. Vitamin D is a hormone.
What?
And the difference is that a vitamin is a chemical element that's necessary for biochemical reactions that the body either can't make or can't make enough of. Vitamin D, the hormone, was initially thought to be a vitamin because it had the appearance of a vitamin when they looked at it superficially. And they've never changed the name. So when we talk about vitamin D, it's not like vitamin A or vitamin C, which is an element that the body depends on you to ingest in order to have it available. Vitamin D, the hormone, had that appearance when they looked at it superficially, but we think of it as being critically important in terms of controlling our body's ability to absorb calcium, which is difficult to absorb and requires certain conditions, but it requires vitamin D in order to boost the absorption from, say, 15% to 85%. And that becomes extremely important when you have growth factored in, because an infant doesn't have the same reservoir of minerals, of calcium and phosphorus, that they will have later in life, because the metabolic machinery is already running near red line, because they're doubling their birth weight in three months. And so, and they're growing inches in that 3 month. And in the first year,
Will someone
they will
please
double.
explain to me why it isn't why it isn't part of our what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a hard time with words today. Part of our routine, I guess, is the best word I can think of, to prescribe vitamin D to all babies and all mothers. You know what I mean?
We do that. We do that in Sweden. That almost everything.
Do you?
Babies has a supplement of vitamin D.
This country wants to kill us. I swear to God, our medical system here hates us. They want us to be fat, sick, and unhealthy, and possibly dead. I don't know why. And this is why RFK Jr. That's why a lot of us really like him, is because he's been saying, like, we're fat and sick and unhealthy. And we're the worst country, like literally the worst country in the world for this. Our healthcare system is crap. Our health is crap. We rely on all these pharmaceuticals, and we don't do anything to address the poisons in the food and the fact that we're not getting enough nutrition.
Did you hear that Walmart is taking out all synthetic dyes out of their generic brands?
Thank you, sweet baby dumpster Jesus. No,
so
I didn't.
all of Walmart's generic brand stuff, they're taking all synthetic dyes out, and
Thank
they're adding
God.
all natural dyes in, like, beet juice
We
and
have
that
been
kind of shit.
begging these companies to do this for years. I have known that red dyes especially cause behavioral problems in my own children because I saw it. For years, I knew this. I was keeping it away from them is so difficult. I had to buy, I was buying dye-free candy for Halloween and like taking their bag at the end and exchanging it with all of the dye-free stuff because they would just get loaded on it and just go crazy. But it just really bothers me that other countries seem to know this and take care of people, and we can't do this. And in fact, it's so bad here that we have prosecutors up here saying you don't need vitamin D. Like,
I mean, you can show the picture I put up.
Oh, what did you put up? Let me see. Oh, I have to remove this. Right. StreamYard did this stupid thing where now you can't just, you know what I mean?
No.
Like you have to take it down before you can put another one up instead of just hit the button and it switches. Drives me crazy.
Yeah,
What is
so
this?
this is a vitamin D drops. 2 to 5 drops per day is given to.
Do we have this here? Is this something I can buy on Amazon? Because if it is, I'm getting it right now.
Well, see, and like my whole thing is, so I've had like bone issues for a long time. I have in the army. I've only gone to the army doctors for this, and I need to probably see real doctors, but fuck them all. I have, quote, weak bones. But that's all they said. And they're like, here, we're giving you a shit ton of vitamin D and calcium, which I took. But then after the script ran out, I'm like, I feel like I still need vitamin D. Like, is there a way I can get,
apparently we have
to get
vitamin
it
D
prescribed in a
drops.
high dose.
We have vitamin D drops, but I wonder, I don't see this one. And I wonder if it's because it's the concentration of it. I don't know. But
See,
this
yeah,
is,
at
do they
certain
recommend
doses is when they have to prescribe.
El Grande? What does your name say? El Grande what?
El Grande Sueso. The big Swede.
I love it.
El Grande Sueso. That calls for this. Wait, where's my new button? So they suggest in Sweden that all adults, all people take vitamin D, all children?
From 2 weeks to 2 years old, the daily dose 2 to 5 drops per day, each day between 2 weeks and 2 years old. Because that's the insane growth spurt.
That he's talking about. He's talking about it right now. How difficult, how you're at this deficiency because of the doubling of your weight in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you get it in baby formula also. You get the extra vitamin D and stuff like that. Oatmeal, you can also have vitamin D in. So yeah.
This just pisses me off because I do feel like our medical system is so negligent. They are so careless, so careless.
Because you can't sue any of them.
No, right?
Because they all have immunity, so they don't give a shit.
Yeah, or the judges will throw it out because they don't want their big medical systems being taken down, by huge jury verdicts.
So the bone is is not just necessary
I'm
in
buying
terms of
drops today.
structure, but it's critically important as a reservoir for these minerals that are constantly moving in and out in ionic form in order to support heartbeat, electrochemical functions of the nerves, of the brain, and to control the clotting mechanisms to keep your blood in balance so that you don't have blood clots and plug things up, or so that you don't just spontaneously start bleeding, which can happen.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Bleeding under the skin, perhaps?
Yeah.
Spontaneously bleeding under the skin? Well, we saw pictures like that of Jameson Timms, didn't we? And they called it bruising, but then it was gone the next day.
Mm-hmm.
What is the effect, in your experience, on deficiencies in vitamin D and bone formation or bone development?
Well, worldwide, 100 years ago, there was considerable interest. Many, many books were written about vitamin D in the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s. There's not so much written now.
But
She's objecting.
I'm going to object to any literature that might be referenced or quoted by the sector. We were not allowed to do that. We have to say, I'm going to object to it. After saying, trying to
Mr. Hood.
I don't think he was about to quote any literature. I think he was just making a point. But
So I think the objection was to quoting from the literature. I'll sustain that objection, but he can certainly reference that he reviewed literature. That's not a problem for him
All
to
right,
do
sustained.
Go ahead.
And if
You were
objection
talking
is on
about,
there,
books that
you
were
can
written
check that
about
off too.
vitamin D in the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Well, historically, there was a lot of interest because the hormone vitamin D was identified first as a vitamin when we know that it's a hormone about 100 years ago. And there was a lot of interest in, and there were a lot of studies that were being done. There's not so much now, and there's hardly a chapter or two in the pediatric textbooks or in orthopedic textbooks about vitamin D, the hormone, which is very different than 100 years ago. And the National Institute of Health puts out bulletins every several years that tells us that there's still a silent pandemic.
I'm going to object to what these bulletins are saying. We were not allowed to do that. We have to say, I would object if they are doing that. We have to say.
Mr. Hood, any response?
I'll direct him.
Okay, just rephrase your question.
So a lack of
I
vitamin
want
D.
salts,
vitamin D
like salt packets, so I can
deficiency.
throw salt
And
packets
let's say
at her
an
for
infant.
being salty.
What is the effect of that on bone development for that infant?
Well, we know that vitamin D, the hormone, has much more than just the vitamin-like action of absorbing calcium, which was the first thing that it was identified for. There are, I think, 3,000 enzymes we know now that are affected by the hormone vitamin D. But as far as just bone, it interferes with the absorption of calcium. And I'll be able to show you on x-rays pretty clear manifestations of what happens when there's inadequate early mineralization.
I guarantee the prosecutor is going to object to
Regarding
that
this case,
because he's not a
this involves
radiologist.
an infant child by the name of Jameson Timms. You have been provided records and images regarding that child. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you had the opportunity to review those?
Yes.
And we've got some images that we're going to show, and we'll walk through those momentarily. But in the big picture, what did your review of the records and these images of Jameson demonstrate to you?
Well, in reviewing the records, the medical history, and the course of events, it was clear this was a medical mistake in terms of the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you base that on?
I base that on the x-ray findings and the consistency of the story and how that fits with what I see on the x-rays and the lab.
Specifically, let me start with, there's an allegation in this case that there is a fracture, a vertebral fracture at T10. Are you familiar with that?
I am.
Have you had the opportunity to review the images that would purport to show a vertebral fracture in this case?
I have.
Have you formed an opinion about whether or not they demonstrate a vertebral fracture?
I have.
What is that opinion?
Well, as I recall, that was initially missed in the medical evaluation by the radiologist and by everybody who saw that x-ray. It's not surprising because it's a minimal difference in terms of the height that would be expected of that vertebral body at T10. So it's first of all, it's a very minimal, less than 1/10 of an inch difference in height from what you might expect as you progress from the upper part of the thoracic spine down. Each body's expected to get a little bit larger. That's just what we're accustomed to seeing. In this case, T10 is not quite as large as you would expect, but it doesn't look like a fracture. I see fractures all the time.
What would you expect to see if you were going to call what you see on one of these images a fractured vertebrae?
Well, usually with a compression fracture, there's some wedging. There's one side, either the front, it's not symmetrical. In other words, it's not just a loss of height, it's uniform. It's one side more than the other. Sometimes you can see some dimpling or breaking of the structure of the sides of it or the front of it. That's not present here.
Is the loss of height in this vertebral body, is it significant in your opinion?
No, it's structurally insignificant.
Do you have an idea or an opinion as to what would cause or potentially cause what you're seeing on these images?
Well, I remember my board examination had a picture of I think it was T10, that also had one that was much more involved in this. And the correct answer was histocytosis X, which is now called Langerhans cell histocytosis. That's an accumulation of cells that are scavengers in the body that take down old tissue. And for reasons that nobody understands, there will be a concentration of those in a thoracic body, and they actually consume enough bone that the bone symmetrically loses its height, unlike a fracture, which tends to be more of a wedge deformity, either to the front or to the front and one side. But in this case, there was also a lab value that I've noticed that didn't fit as far as trauma.
And what lab value is that?
Well, that's lipase. And as a trauma surgeon, I've noticed that my patients that have trauma, particularly in the upper abdomen, and this happens to be, we'll see on the x-rays, the pancreas, which produces lipase, which is a very powerful enzyme. It resides and lives just below the diaphragm at T10. So if you were to have sufficient trauma to even cause a minimal or even insignificant loss of height, as we see in this case, the lipase should be elevated. And I would expect it to stay elevated for a couple weeks because that's what I've seen. In this case, it was abnormally low.
And specifically, the higher lipase level would be caused by what? Damage to which organ?
The pancreas is very sensitive. And one of its responses to stress or an injury is to produce lipase and amylase.
There's also an allegation in this case, doctor, of non-accidental trauma to 3 left posterior ribs. Are you familiar with that?
I am.
Have you had the occasion to review the images related to those ribs?
I did.
And have you had the ability or have you formed an opinion as to what you see on those images?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Tell me what you see, and then we'll talk about your opinion as to what may have caused it.
Well, the rib fractures, I think it was 8, 9, and 10 on the left side, are clear evidence of a inadequate metabolic bone early on in life.
Okay. Hold on a minute. I'm distracted and I don't want to miss this testimony because I need to understand this lipase thing. But Rob sent me a super chat that I want to address. So Rob says, just show one Trump meme you've ever, I think he means, have I ever made fun of Trump or told the other side of the loss of Medicare, my mother will lose for nursing home care? Okay, Rob, yes. Recently, Donald Trump signed an idiotic executive order telling people they couldn't burn the American flag, that they would be arrested for burning the American flag. I vociferously said, that makes me want to burn one. Like, I don't like being told what to do. I've never wanted to burn an American flag in my life, but I did not like that at all, because I think that's an assault on free speech and freedoms. I don't like that. And I didn't necessarily make fun of him because I was too mad about it. But I took a lot of heat from the chat on that as well, because there are a lot of people who don't agree with me on that. But I feel that way. And I do think he does some stupid things sometimes. Now, as far as this Medicare thing goes, here's what I can say to you about this. This is a very complex issue, right? Our medical system in America is awful. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. Medicare is no good. None of it's any good. And all I know is Democrats have been saying from the beginning of time that Republicans are trying to starve your mother, starve old people, and take away their Medicare. That's their argument every single time. And I know that there are these arguments they're making are about budgets. They're looking for waste and fraud. The Republicans say they're looking for waste and fraud. Democrats say, no, they're taking your Medicare away from seniors. But that's what you have to research. That's what you have to look into. What are the actual cuts? What are they going to? And I don't have time. We don't have time to go into that today. But there's a nuanced and very complex argument here that's been going on from the dawn of time between these two parties. And it is always the same allegations. In fact, I will never forget Rush Limbaugh one time back in the 90s, they were having the same budget conversation, same exact one. And Democrats got on the House floor and they said, Republicans want your mother to eat cat food. That they're going to force your mother to eat cat food because she won't be able to afford, because the Medicaid is being cut. She won't be able to afford her groceries. These are the types of lies. Of course, no one wants anyone's mother to eat cat food. These are the types of lies we have to be careful about. But yeah, I definitely think that these conversations need a lot more nuance. And we were just enjoying the memes. I have not dove deep into what cuts they're doing and which cuts they're saying they're not, that they don't want. But believe me, Rob, nobody wants your mother to lose Medicare. Nobody, not Republicans, not Democrats. So whatever is good, hopefully, and you need to lobby your local politicians for the things that you care about. So if that's something you care about, which of course it is, I highly recommend that you do that you get involved and you do that. And I am completely 100% on the side of your mother retaining her health care. But our system is totally fucked, and it's fucked in a lot of ways. And it's not just Republicans' fault, and it's not just Democrats' fault. It's everybody's fault. And I don't think they're going to fix it today or tomorrow. And I like it when the government gets shut down because they can't hurt me today.
Oh, I was like, we're shutting half the government down. So why the fuck do we need this half? Why don't we just keep it always shut down?
I know. I don't know why we're running just fine. The roads are working. The street lights are on. I don't know. It seems like everything is fine. The only thing that's not working is the federal government, and who cares? You know?
Congress.
Over here, we have the so-called universal health care, and old people still die of starvation in our old folks' homes. So it's not a universal solution either.
That's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really difficult and really bad. And I do not proclaim to have the answers. I do not. But when Hakeem Jeffries gets on TV and says that a sombrero meme, a funny meme, is racist and disgusting, I have to make fun of that. It's funny. That's funny. And I'm certainly not making a commentary on the Medicare situation because I don't know enough about it. But I also know that everything is bad. Everything is bad.
Haven't you seen one of these TikTokers or whatever? He goes and deliberately puts on, the stereotypical Mexican outfit in Mexico and asks them, do you feel offended? They love it.
They love it. And why shouldn't they love it? Flux, get the hat back on. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Why shouldn't we all love it? Why can't we appreciate it? And why can't we make funny jokes?
It's so pretty.
And
one of the most popular pro wrestlers today is a German guy in a lucha libre mask calling himself El Grande Americano. He is so over in Latin America, it's ridiculous. I mean, so he's a German pretending to be a Mexican, pretending to be an American. I mean...
Yeah, and listen, Republicans are saying, listen, we're cutting the waste and fraud like you paying for healthcare for illegal aliens. And they're saying, we're not doing that. Well, There is literally a video of a Democrat debate, and the debate, I gotta find it. I didn't retweet it, and I should have yet again, because I can't find it at this very, oh, here it is. I just found it. All right, let's just play this real quick, because here, this is what Democrats are saying they are not doing. And this is literally the Democratic debate question. Watch this.
You have been talking tonight about these government plans you proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Every single hand.
Let me start with you, Mayor Buttigieg.
It would.
A lot of you have been talking.
So did you catch that? A lot of your plans.
Why?
Which one of your plans? How many of you are going to cover undocumented immigrants in your healthcare plans? And believe me, that is happening on multiple levels in the government because of so much waste and fraud. And that should not be happening. Americans first. Americans first. We have Americans like your mom who may be losing benefits or because of who knows what, because of mismanagement and fraud. And Republicans are saying we need to cut mismanagement and fraud, and we do not need to be funding health care for illegal immigrants because we have Americans who are suffering. And I 100% agree with that. But again, I'm also 100% on the side of your mom keeping all the benefits that she needs. So however we can get there, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I want to help Americans. And this is what the memes are about. The memes are about the Democrats claiming that they don't have any waste and fraud, and they're not going to spend our money on illegal immigrants. And they are. They all raised, every single hand at that debate went up and said, yes, we will cover undocumented immigrants with our health care plans. They wanted to add, yes, thank you, Ashley, $1.5 trillion to Medicaid for illegals. That wouldn't help your mom, Rob. That would not help your mom. It would hurt your mom. It would take funds away from her that she would not be able to use. So the funny memes are just a way to bring attention to the fact that they're claiming they're not wasting. There's no waste and fraud. There's plenty, and they would continue to waste it. So anyway,
because other cases that I have seen that I found X-rays that confirmed a fracture at birth shortly after delivery, it's expected that because of the rapid growth, an infant will repair the bone and remodel the bone and not leave any evidence even that there was an injury to the bone from the birthing process, which confirms for me in multiple cases that these are birth related from the passage through the birth canal. And this callus, or the attempt of the body healing it, is clear to me in that it's too much and it's poorly mineralized. And that confirms, along with the other bone findings that we'll see in a minute, that this is metabolic, that these are birth-related fractures, and what they're seeing and thinking are weeks old actually date back to birth. So for me, it's a confirmation of the other bone findings, that this is not trauma that's related to something that was inflicted.
In your experience,
So nobody
as a
squeezed the
physician,
baby.
As an orthopedic surgeon, can I safely presume that you have dealt with a wide range of trauma in your practice?
I have.
Can you give us some examples briefly?
Well, fractures and trauma, we usually consider them generally and on the basis of how much soft tissue damage there is, because the bones hold us up. But if you have a fracture, it's non-functional. The structure has been defeated. And the most severe would be traumatic amputations, because the bone and the soft tissue has been completely separated. And then there would be open fractures where there's so much damage that the soft tissue is torn along with the bony structure. And then there are closed fractures where the soft tissue is still intact, but maybe beat up, and maybe the bones have done a lot of damage, but they haven't penetrated the covering of the skin. And then there are simple fractures where there's not as much soft tissue damage. And then occasionally in trauma, we'll get a fracture that has a crack with no damage that's visible to the covering of the bone and very little, if any, damage to the soft tissue envelope around it. And the difference between traumatic fractures of normal bone and metabolic lesions of the bone that we call fractures, kind of like we call vitamin D a vitamin when it's really a hormone, those are really evidence not so much of trauma, but of the metabolic process that resulted in the bone being weak enough that it could fail. And those, unlike the trauma-related fractures, tend to be undisplaced, meaning there's a crack. So that unless you have the x-ray aligned at just the right angle, you won't see it.
Oh boy.
Or
Because
there's very little, even the tube of soft tissue that covers the bone, the lining of the bone, may not be damaged. And so the structure can actually still support the weight of the limb. And so it doesn't have the looseness of an unstable fracture, but those are common in metabolic lesions, but pretty uncommon in my experience in traumatic injuries. So that helps to separate these things out. For instance, these 3 rib fractures were all probably cracks because we can see the line of the ribs and it's perfect. They're lined up just like railroad tracks. They're parallel. There's no offset. There's no tear in the soft tissue or the lining around them. And so that's not consistent with the world that I live in, the trauma that I see.
If you dealt with a patient that presented, even a small child, with 3 posterior rib fractures and a compressed vertebrae, would your experience tell you that you would expect to see, if the cause of that was non-accidental trauma, some intentional force applied to the child, would you expect to see other injuries in addition to fractures in bones?
You would.
And what would you expect to see?
Well, if 3 fractures is a significant, that suggests a significant level of trauma in a trauma setting. I mean, a baby can't talk, so it can't tell you when it has pain, but a baby can tell you that it doesn't like something. And if a baby has pain and you're attempting to start an IV on it, it takes 2 people. One person has to hold them and hold the extremity steady while the other one tries to put a needle in a very small vein. The baby tells you that it's not happy and that it's hurting, and it reacts to pain. And so even though we depend on the history of people, a baby that had 3 traumatic injuries from being in a bad car accident, perhaps, or the one baby that was the only survivor of an airplane accident several years ago, it would tell you, and its vital signs would tell you that it had been traumatized. It's nothing like this, where the amylase and the lipase would be abnormally low.
Would you expect a child who had been subjected to that sort of trauma to be described by the treating physician as a clinically well child?
No, that's consistent with the bone finding. This is metabolic, and it's a misdiagnosis.
Did you notice anything in the records that indicated that there was any chest wall injury to this child?
No, we're not.
With these types of fractures, rib fractures, and an alleged compressed vertebral fracture, would you expect to see some evidence of injury, soft tissue injury around the chest wall?
Absolutely. You don't have multiple rib fractures, 3 or more from a trauma setting. Those are considered, evidence of a significant impact. But when you have the x-ray findings, as in this case, they're consistent and they refute that.
What, in your opinion, would have caused these rib lesions?
Well, I'm sure that the rib cracks happen from the birthing process.
And what happens in the birthing process that would cause rib fractures?
Well, we're all here. Most of us were delivered without a C-section, but I have seen rib fractures in newborns, even from babies that were delivered by C-section, because the uterine contractions have an amazing amount of force. The reason I know that is, as a pelvic surgeon, I have seen women who, during the birthing process, had their pelvis dislocated by the force involved of the baby's body resisting the passage through the mother's pelvis to the point that the mother's pelvis failed. We consider that a major traumatic injury and trauma. It takes a lot of force, like 100 times more force than the strongest man in this place could squeeze. Those are the compressive forces.
Squunch.
So that's
Squunch
why
or
I'm
no
very
squunching.
confident when I see
Get squunched.
an infant with posterior
Check
rib
it off.
fractures, particularly those with failed healing and callus that doesn't have much mineral in it, that those are birth related.
You know what? That was, let me, hold on. I got to go back. This is really important. This is really important. Because remember how much time they spent telling us that it would be very, very rare for a baby to get these squunching injuries during the squunching process of getting squunched through the birth canal. Remember? There's no squunching or compression in the birth canal. Can we just listen to that again? Because this man speaks with conviction, and that just gave me chills up my spine. If I am on the jury, I am like, I hate everyone at the prosecutor's table right now. I hate everyone. FFS on the bingo card means for fuck's sake.
I've already chosen violence a long time ago.
And I think we made for fuck's sake fits. I mean, it does. It's like this guy is destroying. He is dismantling the prosecution in this sentence right here.
That is, as a pelvic surgeon, I have seen women who, during the birthing process, had their pelvis dislocated by the force involved of the baby's body resisting the passage through the mother's pelvis to the point that the mother's pelvis failed. We consider that a major traumatic injury and trauma.
Wow.
It takes a lot of force, like 100 times more force than the strongest man in this place could squeeze. Those are the compressive forces. So that's why I'm very confident when I see an infant with posterior rib fractures, particularly those with failed healing and callus that doesn't have much mineral in it, that those are birth related.
Look at that. And by the way, just as a side note here, those of you out there with wives or mothers, go hug them who have had babies, go hug them today, because I can attest, birth is war. It is war on your body. I have had birth injuries myself. I had a horrific pulled tendon because a nurse pushed my knee further back. Like, they hold your knees back. I don't know why they do this. It's a horrific thing that they do. And
because they know everything.
She pushed my knee too far and stretched something, like overstretched a ligament. I didn't walk right for a year after that. I mean, birthing is a incredibly violent process. Like, there's so much going on, and the contractions, when you feel them, you know what he's talking about. You know that that's true. Like, anybody who's had a baby, anybody who's watched a woman have a baby should know that it is like this. Wow. By the way, Nick, we should pull up your picture. This is funny. You want to tell the chat who this is?
Yes, this is El Grande Americano. He is allegedly Ludwig Kaiser, a German pro wrestler working in the United States for WWE. And he is so damn over because WWE purchased AAA, a Mexican wrestling organization, and he is so insanely over. That face mask, they get shipments into WWE shop, and it's sold out in hours. They are resold on Etsy and eBay for $200-300 each. I mean, he is so damn over. And I have yet to see any Latino or Latina saying, I don't like that. Nobody says it's racist. Well, except maybe a few people, but none of them are Latinos.
Yeah, keep in mind, folks, that there are entire bot farms out there trying desperately to get us to fight one another instead of laugh together. You know, it's much better to try and come together with common ground and laugh. There are people out there literally trying to get us to hate each other by saying these ridiculous things that aren't true. I love this guy.
I just looked up the masks. They're out of stock. You can't get them.
No, you can't get them.
Sad. Now I have to go on like eBay or something.
Yeah, they are sold for like $150 on Etsy, but they are copies. They are not. They are fakes, and you find them on eBay and stuff like that for $200-300 each, and they are sold for $50 at WWE Shop. And
I love it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's $150 on Etsy.
Boy, this guy is a great witness. Let me tell you something. Dr. Bowtie needs a better name. He's Dr. Wreck-It. I mean, something. He's
I like
prosecution gets wrecked. That's on the bingo card today. I think that just happened. So I'm going to let you check off prosecution gets wrecked. Let's see. Prosecution gets wrecked. That right there, what he just said. How can anybody doubt him? He's seen it happen. He's seen a woman with a dislocated pelvis. If you can get your pelvis dislocated during birth, a human adult female pelvis, they think you can't fracture a few infant ribs? Are you kidding? My mother's pelvis broke during one of our births. I don't know which one it was, but her pelvis broke. It broke. She was like sitting on a donut. There's no cast they can do. But her pelvis actually broke. It wasn't dislocated. It fractured during birth. I can't believe I just remembered that. I'll have to ask her which one of us that happened with. But she's a very small woman, like Carrie, exactly like Carrie, actually. My mother is like 95 pounds soaking wet, and she always has been her whole life. And so, childbirth was very difficult for her. She's a really tiny person. And her pelvis broke. So what he's saying here is 100% true, and everybody knows it. Look at his face, too. He's so confident. I love it.
All right. Your Honor, can I ask Dr.
He's not looking at the ceiling cats.
Position the easel
yeah, we're not going to be able to check that off.
See what we're going to do. We're going to take a break and let you do that.
With the court's permission,
Certainly.
Ms. Fox, I'm going to announce to you which exhibit it was from the stack. So the one I'm holding up right now is 6. You would stand right there and tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what they are.
This is an X-ray of an infant, and you can see from any distance, you can see the ribs, and you can see that they look like a cage, and they're all one. They're pretty symmetrical in terms of their alignment. There are no obvious deformities as there would be in a traumatic fracture, but this X-ray happens to show a bowl. This is a ball of healing bone on the 8th, 9th, and 10th ribs on the left. That's too big to be a healing patch and repair for what was not a displaced fracture, because there's no separation. These were just hairline cracks, but the body overproduced the healing bone, which is soft callus. And you can see here, it almost looks so bubbly like, which is characteristic of not having enough minerals in it. So just looking at the x-rays tells me that this is a baby that has metabolic problems, and it's the babies with metabolic problems that tend to have birth-related fractures of their ribs. But there's something else in this x-ray. If you see the teeth, those teeth are primary teeth. Dentists don't see those because those are down in the gum, but they shouldn't look like that on an x-ray. They should look white and hard, but they look like they're shells. And we have a better picture of that later. You can see there's a big gas bubble here in the stomach,
good explanation.
and you can see the lungs go down to here, and this is the top of the diaphragm. And this
I'm moving to the side like I'll be able to look around him.
I know.
That is that's the 10th vertebral body that we were talking about.
Ms. Fox, this next one is
number 2.
Well, I don't think it's 6HH, Ms. Fox.
Thank you. This x-ray is one of the first things I used to look at when I would look at ribs on an infant to find out whether or not they had an adequate amount of minerals during the process of development. I think anybody can see this even without their glasses. This is the side view, slightly twisted or oblique, And if you look at the ribs coming from the spine and you come out, you can see that there's a flaring, almost like a trumpet, at the end of the rib. Can everybody see that? Where it's expanding. The reason for that is that the bone doesn't have enough mineral. And where it connects with the breastplate, the normal size would fail. So the body compensates for that by flaring the ends of the rib. That's a well-known finding, but it's been neglected and we forget to look for that. But that's called flaring of the anterior or the front of the rib.
I don't remember the state having somebody up there doing this.
No.
Right? I like that he's explaining it.
But again, show the ends of the rib. You see how much larger the ends of the ribs are? I'm surprised the radiology report that I said didn't mention those.
Holy crap. He is right now. This is exactly like Matlock. He's pulling a Matlock right now. He just waited for the jury to respond to him. Did you see when he said, "Do you see this here?" And he looked at all of them and he made eye contact. He was waiting for nods. This man has taught people things before. I can tell. This is a Matlock moment. Nick, have you ever seen anything like this? This is so good.
I mean, not from one of these experts. I've seen Matlock's moments or failed. I see more failed Matlock's moments. So, aha!
Yeah.
Oh crap! I was wrong. So, those I saw a lot of in the YSL trial.
This is masterful. I'm backing that up just a little bit because I want you to see him. Look at him. Watch him look at the jury again. Look at this. And someone has coached him on where to stand so the camera can see the images.
Hold on one second. That's 6 double F. Go ahead.
But again, show the ends of the ribs. You see how much larger the ends of the ribs are?
Look, he's making eye contact with all of
I'm
them.
surprised the radiology report that I said didn't mention those.
Yeah,
Those are important findings.
the X-rays came after the conclusion from the pot lady, didn't it?
The what lady?
The
the Harbin Pickett. You
Yeah.
mean this one? Wait, hold on. We can bring her up. Are we talking about this one?
No. Dark hair, the dancing one. Dancing in
this
the
one.
Creek.
Oh, very
Yeah.
Okay, her.
So the radiologist, did the conclusion came before the radiologist interpreted the
they
X-rays?
decided to take the baby before they even got to Choa.
Yeah. So the radiologist might have had this predetermined notion, this is what it's going to show.
Yeah.
And so he never looked for her. She didn't ever even look for anything else.
Right.
Something that's almost universally neglected is if you see, this is the head of the baby. These are the primary teeth, but they don't look like teeth. They should look like teeth, and they should be solid white with a lot of minerals in them. But instead, they're just an outline, like a ring or a shell.
They look clear.
And that tells you that when the primary teeth were being formed between the 16th and 24th week of life in the mother's abdomen, there was inadequate mineralization. Well, if there was not enough mineralization to make those teeth the way they were supposed to be, with a solid top that's very white and dense, then you shouldn't expect that it could do what it needed to do to have normal structure on the bone, because the bone is the reservoir. And the reservoir was running dry, which is why you have this finding on the teeth and this finding on the ribs.
Wow. He does look like Harrison Ford.
We need a mic drop.
Yeah, we don't have mic drop on the... Okay, that goes on tomorrow.
He's just like mic dropping left and right all over them.
This is an enlargement to again show you the primary teeth weren't even fully developed. They should have been. And the
That poor
mineralization
kid is going to
clearly
have so much need for dentals when he grows older.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully they've been able to reverse that. I mean, because now that they know there's the problem, they can supplement the nutrition to build that bone back up. Probably, I would think so. I think Carrie's in the chat. Carrie, do you have to have him on a regimen now, like a nutritional regimen to build that bone back up, the mineralization in the teeth? I think that's an easy fix. I could be wrong.
I hope so.
This is another projection of the end of the ribs.
He does. He has a Harrison Ford vibe. Indiana Jones professor. Yeah, this is definitely
Dr. Jones. Calling
Dr. Jones. We figured it out.
Yes.
Dr. Jones. Yes, we figured
Dr.
it out.
Jones Bones.
Dr. Jones Bones.
Yes. This is Dr. Jones Bones. I love it.
He's going to take out the
Love
whip
it.
next. He's going to crack somebody with a whip.
Look like that. And this again is another view of the upper rib.
I feel like you
See how
can
much
see.
larger they are.
Oh my
at the end?
God.
They just expand.
It's Indiana Bones.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, memers. Where are my memers? Where are my memers? Indiana Bones. I need an Indiana Bones meme for this guy. And in fact, we had a really good screenshot right here. We can turn this into Indiana Bones. Somebody take a screenshot. Rogue Mama, are you in the chat today? I feel like I haven't seen her. She's usually my chief memer. We need Indiana Bones. I'm taking a screenshot. God, that's
The larger they
hilarious.
are at the end, they just expand.
Man, he's explaining all of the injuries so thoroughly.
6 of them.
Yeah.
Unlike the prosecution.
This again shows the bottom of the chest and the diaphragm. And on the other side is the pancreas, right up near where that small decrease in height that T10 was. This line that you see here is increased resorption of the bone. That's called cortical tunneling. And that happens when the body is devouring in calcium and phosphorus and breaking it down from the reservoir to reprocess it so that it can manage that increased length that the baby is having during this period of very rapid growth. This is a picture of the wrist, and it's not as obvious, but this also shows evidence of metabolic bone deficiency at the end of the wrist on both the radius and on the ulna. Again, you see that dark line? That's called cortical tunneling. And that shows that the metabolic activity at the time that this x-ray was taken was very high, and the body was trying to break down the bone to process it so that it could maintain life and growth. This x-ray shows something that I've never seen before. In 50 years, this is the upper arm. This is the humerus. I could point out the cortical tunneling, some of the periosteal elevation, the coarse trabecular pattern, and usually that would go along with the flared rib end and the hollow looking teeth, and that's all you would get. But this case is special. This x-ray almost was cut off, but this shows a piece of fetal bone. That's bone before the baby was born. What does that mean? That means that this blow up, the baby's, remember the doll, size of the doll. So this is probably 3.5 inches long, but we're blowing it up. So it's a foot. That means that this piece of bone, which is fetal bone, and it's recognizable from this extremity, was present as a reservoir of minerals at the time, because of its size, that the teeth were trying but failing to form because they couldn't get calcium from the reservoir. That means that this X-ray shows profound evidence that's irrefutable. There's fetal bone within the developing but obvious metabolic bone of the right humerus, which it shows that there's a failure of the breakdown of calcium and phosphorus. There's a breakdown of the processing. There's a breakdown of the redistribution of the formation of bone and of growth. I can't tell you whether that is just due to deficiency of the hormone vitamin D, or if it's that in combination with a genetic problem, but this is irrefutable, that the diagnosis of trauma is wrong.
Wow.
This fetal
Oh, I've got
Holy
it.
shit.
I've got his theme music. I've got it.
Yes.
Dr. Bones. Oh my
Right.
God.
The fact that he's using words like irrefutable and he's being so direct and so very, he is speaking with authority on this. It is such a stark difference from the doctors where they're like, it could, it might have been the squunch in it. This guy's like, boom, bam, mic drop. Like, holy shit, the difference.
I'm not sure I understand this reservoir thing. Did you pick up on that, on what he's saying about the correlation between this bone and the teeth? I need to understand this, and I don't think I do yet.
I think it just has to do with like the function. I could be 100% wrong,
But, like,
because
here, wait,
your
let me
teeth have
see
a
if-
different function. I do believe they are structured.
But I mean,
slightly
he was saying this thing about the reservoir, the bone being a reservoir for calcium. So let me see. There's
actually
fetal
stores
bone,
calcium and stuff.
calcium from the reservoir. So bones act as a reservoir for calcium, so it pulls to put it where it needs to go. Is that correct?
I believe
present-
essentially that's it.
A piece of bone, this piece of bone, which is fetal bone, recognizable from this extremity, was present as a reservoir of minerals at the time that these teeth were trying but failing to form. Trying to pull the calcium. I don't know how he knows that, though. I mean, obviously, I believe him. I just don't. I wonder how do they get to this conclusion? How do they know this? I wish I could figure this out.
I think it has to do with the development, like in the womb, when your teeth develop and how your teeth are developing in conjunction with your bones. I think it's just like.
I see.
Yeah,
So
they
you
are
know, so
like
that's what
bones.
he's
They're kind
okay,
of-
right? Because during development, he's talking about fetal development. So during the development, certain bones are developing at this. They know what's developing when. So this bone was developing at the same time the teeth were supposed to be developing. Right?
So
I got
if
it.
the teeth are bad, then
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was unbelievable.
The breakdown of the processing, there's a breakdown of the redistribution of the formation of bone and of growth. I can't tell you whether that is just due to deficiency of the hormone vitamin D, or if it's that in combination with a genetic problem, but this is irrefutable. The diagnosis of trauma is wrong. This fetal bone confirms everything that I told you about the rib, about the teeth, about the failed healing. I don't know of anything that could make it more clear. I've never seen this before. And what will happen? Well, during the 6th to the 16th week after birth,
I am going to ask at this point, we've gone through a long narration. I don't think it's even responsive at this point to any questions. by
Oh
Mr.
no, we
Phillips.
have to get rid of that thing.
I would like, this is his witness. He's going to question and bring information out, but the question was, what is it show?
Speaking objections, completely irrelevant to the testimony.
Your response?
Well, I think it'd probably be a prompt time for me to sit down and Ms. Bernard can ask questions and he can resume the witnessing. Is that correct?
So you don't want him to answer any more questions?
Don't
looking at
walk
the
away,
exhibit?
doctor.
Not right now.
Come
Okay.
back.
Sir, if you'll step back to the witness stand then.
Dang it.
Oh, it's going in across.
Oh, and it's leaving the X-ray up. That's genius.
All right.
And now
Good
let's
morning,
see
Doc.
how she does some cross-examination.
Oh no, we're not in cross yet. We're not in cross yet.
Interfering with your
Oh, it's-
ability to see the
it's- oh, it's
witness.
her
I think it'll be fine, Your Honor. And can you hear me all right?
I can.
Perfect.
I'm hoping when it zooms
well,
in, the hat's going to be in
So
the
I
right
think Mr. Hood
place.
has gone through a lot of the same questions that I'm going to ask you about. But I did want to ask, so was there any specific medical trip or work that you did that got you concerned about metabolic bone disease as a factor in human growth and development?
Yes. It was.
Can you tell the jury about that experience?
Well, I happened to witness a 1-year-old that stumbled and fell. And his parents reported that he wouldn't walk on his leg the next day. But I saw his fall. He was a clumsy 1-year-old learning to walk.
He moves too much.
And an x-ray showed an undisplaced tibial fracture. And in evaluating that shouldn't have caused a fracture, not even a crack. We discovered that he had a vitamin D deficiency. And that was the stimulus in the beginning, some 20 years ago, of my interest in unexplained fractures in children. Because, of course, his parents were accused of child abuse.
But you had seen the instance in question.
I was an eyewitness to it.
And you mentioned,
Wow.
so we're talking about
Wow.
vitamin D deficiencies.
Wow.
And can you tell us anything about what a normal level of vitamin D would be for an infant?
That's a topic of some controversy in the United States. It's not much of a controversy in the rest of the world, but
That's not
just
surprising.
The United
recently, you may
States
have
is
noticed that the
backwards.
recommended daily minimum
Our medical
requirement
system sucks.
for the hormone vitamin D has been raised from 400 to 600. The researchers,
Micrograms. Yeah.
okay,
More objections.
I have him on cross, Your Honor. Well, I'll overrule the objection. I'm not sure what the rest of his response is going to be.
Locals came through.
An objection, I'll hear it at that time. So.
God,
So
he
you
really
mentioned
looks
that
like
the
Harrison
recommended
Ford.
level of vitamin D that people should take to be healthy has recently changed from 400 to 600.
yes.
And so in terms of what is noted as a normal vitamin D level for an infant, is that always actually reflective of enough vitamin D to avoid these kinds of metabolic issues?
It's not just the level of vitamin D, but the question about, is that the appropriate level? I think not, because if you take your shirt off and you're exposed to sunshine, your body will convert cholesterol in your skin to 25 to 30,000 units of the hormone vitamin D in about 30 minutes of exposure. There are few foods that we actually get significant amounts of the hormone vitamin D in by ingesting. So I would agree that the level is mistakenly low, but we accept in the United States a level of about 30, but that is probably about half of the optimal level.
So if Jameson Timms had gotten a vitamin D test that reflected a 32.9 result, would you consider that low, adequate, high?
Well, it depends. Part of the problem with the testing of the hormone vitamin D is when it is done, because if a person is exposed to formula or supplements, the level can change in a matter of hours. The bone effects remain for weeks and months. And the bone effects, which vitamin D, the hormone deficiency, is the most likely cause of what we saw in the teeth and the ribs and in the other bone things that I showed you. There's not one test for vitamin D, the hormone. It's a hormone. So it's processed first by converting cholesterol to a pre-vitamin D. That's transported by a special protein to the liver. The liver then works on it and changes it to vitamin D25. That then remains active and available, stored in fat for about 3 weeks. And then When you need it, the other hormones and guidance send it to the kidneys where it is processed and becomes 125D, which is usually not tested for, but that is the active form. But it's not just a simple matter of looking at different vitamin D levels. It's knowing when they were taken and also the growth hormone level, the parathyroid hormone level, and the calcium level, because these things all work together. Vitamin D, the hormone, works on about 3,000 different biochemical reactions. The most important ones probably involve our immune system.
Now, you mentioned growth hormone and growth hormone is sort of a powerful stimulant that helps the body grow, right?
It drives everything else.
And so when we're talking about the early weeks of life for a child at 1 month of age or 3 months of age, can you tell us a little bit about the way that growth hormone is impacting bodily processes?
Would you repeat the last part of that?
Can you tell us a little bit about how that growth hormone is affecting bodily processes and how fast or slow things might move?
Well, it's the accelerator, and the pedal is stuck to the floorboard. It's running beyond red line in terms of the metabolic activity.
So are there things that might be different about what are happening in an infant's body versus what is happening in a toddler's body or a young child's body?
Absolutely. But the first 16 weeks are the most critical because of the influence and the stimulus of growth hormone driving the metabolic machinery at the absolute maximum.
Now, you mentioned that sunlight affects vitamin D. So would the fact that Jameson was born in October and scanned in November and January have any impact on vitamin D levels for him or for his mother?
Absolutely.
Just because they wouldn't be getting as much natural sunshine to create that reaction?
It's well known that during the winter months, virtually everybody's vitamin D level, if you tested it, is much lower.
And so would a vitamin D deficiency in the mother impact the development of the child before birth and after birth?
Absolutely. And that's seen in the flared rib end, but particularly the teeth, because we can time the teeth that they form and are mineralized, the primary teeth, between the 16th and 24th week.
Now, Jameson was born about 5 weeks premature. How would that impact any of this metabolic bone growth?
Well, it's critically important. The things that you consider when you have an infant with broken bones, you have to go through the various things that can cause it. And the very first thing is the osteopathy of prematurity. That means the bone problems that are recognized and known to be a problem in babies that are delivered before their due date. Why does that happen? Because the baby is just not ready.
Yep.
Their lungs have problems, their livers frequently have problems. Most babies babies get through that period and are okay. And with just time and no treatment, they're okay. But with the bones, the effects last for months. And one of the criteria for identifying the osteopathy or the bone problems associated with prematurity is if they have a fracture. And that puts it in the severe category. So you can't ignore that. The second factor would be anything that would interfere with early mineralization of bone. Vitamin D is by far the most common, but it's not the only one.
Would any medications for blood pressure or anti-nausea that were taken by the mother during pregnancy potentially have an effect on these processes you are describing?
Absolutely. In the records, the mother for a while was taking a beta blocker. Beta blockers interfere directly with calcium. And it's the calcium that causes the problems we're seeing in the bone, not just the hormone vitamin D. The vitamin D you can think of as the messenger from the control center, but it's really the lack of the regulation, the formation, and the adequacy of the minerals that's the problem.
And what about if there was any trouble with breastfeeding and then there had to be a shift to formula? Would that impact any of these processes you're describing?
It could.
Not necessarily, but it could.
Depends on what formula is used.
What about fibrinogen levels? Is that relevant to these kinds of bone development issues?
I don't know what the effect of fibrinogen level would be. I do know that this case, as in many dozens of others that I've reviewed, the amount of platelets were unusually high. I don't know how to explain that, and I haven't found an explanation for that. But I've noticed that that's an associated finding in dozens of cases just like this.
Okay. So you've noticed it's an associated finding, but you can't say for sure that it has an impact to the jury, just that it possibly could.
Right. It's just associated. I've seen that in the same situation with similar stories.
Now,
all right. I got to stop here because I have to, like I said, today was going to be a short day, which I hate stopping. I'm like, there's no good place to stop. This guy is so interesting and this testimony is so good, right? But I'm kind of glad that we're not getting through it in one sitting, because we'll have more to do tomorrow on this. Nick, if you can be here with us tomorrow, that would be awesome. I don't know what you're doing, but
well, of course, tomorrow I will probably start around 4 p.m. with my fundraiser.
With the fundraiser, which we'll be there for that too. Yeah.
And instead of showing a lot of things, I think I'm going to just do the cross-examinations of the state witnesses, because it's hilarious to hear them stumble, stutter, and being jackasses and have this cross-amnesia. It's so hilarious because they were so certain when the state asked them the questions, but during cross it's like, what?
Yeah.
I find, yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I love it.
Yeah.
And I think the cross-examination is going to be awesome tomorrow. So we'll be watching that for sure. We'll get to that. And we have just a couple of super chats and some super tips to get to. Let's see. The Undertaker says, can we call him Ducky? Well, he's not wearing a silly enough hat for that. Debbie Marie, thanks for the 10. When I was younger, the see you next Tuesday was can't understand normal thinking. I think that fits better, especially with this trial.
Yeah.
I never heard
like
that. And Dawn Hazlitt, thanks to the 5. Medicare does not pay for nursing homes except up to 100 days of therapy. Medicaid will. The whole thing is very complicated and awful. And I agree with everybody who has problems with it. Trust me, I'm with you. Everything sucks. Puzzled Puzzler, thanks to the 5. Calcium is used in the body for nerves and muscle, even as an adult. The body will draw calcium from the bones for other things. Yeah, I feel like that's basic science knowledge we've all known, that calcium gets drawn from your bones when it's needed in other areas. And it's just amazing to watch the state's doctors saying that they just can't imagine a scenario, right? They just can't imagine a scenario where that happens. It's crazy. Rylan, thanks for the 5.
Hello, menopausal Megan, feral gay youth, and Kersey Santa.
I have a degree in biochem. The concern with vitamin D is that it is fat soluble, so it can't be peed out if levels get too high. I think it should still be given in careful doses since it is so vital.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to your doctor and get a blood panel and get your vitamin D tested, because you don't want to overdose, obviously. And this is not a medical show. We're not giving any medical advice. Yeah. I know for a fact, my daughter, one of my daughters has low vitamin D, and I think the drops might work better than the pills. I'm going to look into that. But yeah, what was that? What were those names again? Wait, I got to menopausal Megan, feral gay youth, and Kersey Santa.
I'm going by FGA, or I mean FGY.
No, I will have you know that I am
I
will have you know that I am premenopausal. Thank you very much. All right. I've not got there yet. Like, can you just slow down with the menopausal stuff?
I mean, during the winter, because over here in Scandinavia, it's dark half the year. It's cold, rainy, snow. It's like living in a polar bear's asshole. I mean, it's just bad. And so we need our vitamin D supplements. And
yes,
because there's a thing up here that it's the winter depression, and it's because you simply don't get enough sunshine. So
right, absolutely, and
The
I
seasonal
think that
depression is real.
it is absolutely real. All right, guys, I gotta run. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you go subscribe to Nick Starro. Get his mods. If you can drop his link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. And also, Flux, House of Flux, go subscribe to her as well. And I'll be back here tomorrow. Well, I'll be back tonight at 8 for my regular show with Tug, and then back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the second part of Indiana Bones' testimony. Because that was epic. Thank you for being here today. I am going to leave you with a very short outro. Yes, Nick?
5 p.m. today, the Michigan's hyperbaric chamber explosion.
Okay.
My channel.
All right. So get over there and see that, everybody. And we'll see you later. Bye.